later. So I'm recording this now. We have 3 assessments that I want to talk to you about. Of course, the one that uh, may be most pressing on your mind, or maybe the cause of the most stress. Hopefully, there's not too much stress, but you have 1 week from today, you have a test. And so, from what I know about the test, and I haven't seen the test, but what I know about the test is that it can cover, the assumption is that everybody will have completed up until lab 8, which is the last lab that I gave you. And so if you think about what are the things that we've done up until lab 8, we've got all kinds of columns that we've used. We've used a grid view. We have been using uh, our float left to put our columns in to get together with each other, and then clear that grid. We've used internal CSS a lot, and the last lab 8, we actually did a form, and so all of those things you should be able to do. So that's the first assessment that I wanted to mention. Now, students in the other class asked me, and so I'm going to try and preempt any questions from you on this point. What will we be allowed? I I haven't had that discussion with the other teachers, and we do this by agreement between the teachers. But it seems to me that the default um, uh, that we use for our tests is that students come with a one-page cheat sheet, and but are not allowed to access W3 schools or anything else. So I think that's what you should expect. I will let you know a bit more about that one as soon as I find out. Really, as soon as I find out, I will post something about the test. But just based on what's happened so far and up to date, including in our final exams, that's the way we've always done it for, it's been a couple of years now. So I think that's what you should expect, and I will tell you if it's otherwise. So it is a test in the classroom. I think you need to also expect that you're going to have to write some HTML code to answer some questions, and on the computer. The other thing that I think that you should expect. So as I said, I'm just trying to head off some questions because people will ask me these. I think that you should expect that the computer that you will sit at will not be equipped with installed version of Visual Studio code, so that you should be comfortable using Notepad++. So I mean, obviously, for what you hand in to me in assignments and etc., I don't really care, and I can't know if you've used Visual Studio code. And I did encourage you to use that at the start of the semester, and I think people have found it to be quite easy and nice to use. But you should assume that you might be sitting at a computer that doesn't have that software, and therefore you need to be ready to use Notepad++ for the test. I think you should prepare for that. So that's about all I can say about the test. That's about all I know. The other heads up on that is there is a final exam in this course, and it's 30%. And so that should be something similar like that when we get to April. So that's our first assessment that I wanted to talk about, is the one coming up 1 week from right now. You have another assessment that I started you on, which is the project. And so there was a few questions regarding the project that I'd just like to sort of say what I can about it now. The project, you are asked to write a Word document that describes your website. When I looked at the notes on that assignment, task 1, it did say that you should present all of the text that you're going to use in your website. So if you've got 5 pages in your website, and each of those 5 pages has 200 words of text, well, those 200 words of text should appear in a Word document that you present to me as task 1. So that should be there. I had, so again, preempting some questions that you might have. Some students in the other class asked me, well, what if we gave you some text now as assignment 1, and then later we expanded upon that or changed the text in our presented and final website? Well, that's all right. I mean, hey, well, we understand that things change. You know what I mean? So the reason for asking you to do, and remember this, right? The final mark for that project is 60% for the turned in assessment at the end. You can change anything on any of the steps on the last phase and just produce this really nice web page. But you might raise some flags on me if the whole thing's changed completely. Then I might start wondering, well, what help did you get? But you know what I mean. The idea for the phases is just to keep you on track so that you are not overwhelmed at the end in trying to present a web site that you haven't put enough work into. So the idea is to get you working on it now. And so that first task is just to get you thinking about exactly what is your website going to be about and coming to terms with that. Now, if you, heading off another question, which I know somebody's going to ask me, I want to lift a whole lot of words off somebody else's website. I encourage you not to do that. What I would rather that you do would be to, I'm not expecting you to be sort of writing an essay or something like that and putting it onto a website. Just put dot points or something really small, sort of amount of text. I'm not putting a minimum limit on the number of words that you have to present. I'm not asking you to produce 1,500 words on 5 pages or anything like that. I mean, just enough words to get across the idea in dot point form. That's fine. So it doesn't have to be something which is difficult English paragraph construction or anything like that. So and so I do sort of discourage you from lifting text off some other site somewhere or downloading from Wikipedia or something. If you feel that you do need to take some text from somewhere, then you need to put it in quotes and you need to say where you got it from. And I'm just saying that is basically a requirement of all academic work, and you are at a college, and so this is academic work. If you present anything that's not your words, you need to say where you got it from. And there's a few reasons for that. One, it's an academic courtesy that we like to give credit to the people who wrote stuff. But another one is just to sort of keep us all honest. And at all levels, that's quite an important thing. And so I think that's enough on that. I hope it's enough.
Sir,
The
I have a
third,
question.
yes, okay, go ahead, Jamil.
Sir, regarding today's, sorry, I mean the task one, we should
Yeah.
explain all the five website in details or what?
The detail that is mentioned in task one is that you could include all the text that you're going to use. So I guess that is in detail, yeah.
In
Um,
detail, okay, fine.
yeah, but it doesn't have to be, as I said, it doesn't have to be an onerous thing. And you can change it and update it later. I hope that helps. So you could be just hand in a single individual page of Word. Sorry, not as individual. Yeah, which is separated so that you say, well, this is what page one is going to say. This is what page two is going to say. That and it doesn't have to be lots and lots of words, but there should be some rational um, uh, difference between page one and page two, for example, right? It shouldn't just be that, oh, I ran out of room on page one, and so this is page two. It should be, page one is this stuff, and page two is this the topic is actually changed a little bit.
Sir,
So
I'd like to explain, like, it's regarding this 5 pages, like, suppose, for example, page one is about home, then the second page is about the some links I put, third page is about something else, like that. Like the page should change, right?
that is very good. And you could do that in the Word document as well, but you don't have to. I mean, you could just put heading and say this is page one, page two. But the point that you just
Yeah.
made is what I was trying to get, which is each different page in your website is a different concept or idea. And so
Okay.
yes, that's very good.
Okay, now I understood. So all 5 page should be like not similar but different. It should look like it changes.
Yes,
This is what you have to see.
yes, that it's not all one sort of concept.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
idea of
sir.
having multiple pages is multiple concepts. Yes, so that's
Okay.
good. Good thinking. Thanks, Jamil. So that is where you are on that. Can I use you Wikipedia? Yes, you can. but oh, goodness gracious. Um, I think it's going to be hard to do that. So you could take some things, rewrite it a little bit. You could take a paragraph from Wikipedia and turn it into three dot points. Yeah, something like that. Um, I mean, really, you go to who goes to Wikipedia and starts reading, right? You have to really know what you want. What I mean is, it's not the type of thing that people do to go and sort of. I feel like relaxing. I'm going to open up Wikipedia and start reading, unless you're a real nerd. So what I mean is that people will find it boring. No, I wouldn't. I like Wikipedia. No. Take the idea and write it in your own words. Very good. That would work. All right. So let's leave that. The last of the three assessments that I wanted to talk about is, of course, today's assessment that I'm giving you, which is another assignment, the third and final assignment in this course. So I'm trying to give you some hope that there is a end, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. Which is assignment 3. And when I looked at your assessment schedule, I was a little bit concerned because you do have a test tomorrow, 1 week from now. So I'm not asking you to complete assignment 3 before that test. I'm asking you to complete assignment 3 after that test. So you can look at it now. It may help you in getting ready for the test, but it shouldn't be something that's another great stone set upon your back while you're trying to tread water in the assessment sort of whirlpool or whatever. Um, yeah, so don't. I hope it doesn't become something that sort of weighs you down too much. It is an assessment; we have to do it, but let's have a look at how we can go about that in the most easy way to do that. Okay, so the it's a one page, but we've got 3 pages of instructions on how to do it. There is a rubric here on how the marks are going to be given to you. Follow organization. Well, yeah, I guess you're going to have your images
Uh,
separated from your.
Sir,
Deepak, can
are
Um,
I?
you sharing? You're not sharing your page, sir. We are seeing
Yeah,
your
yeah.
beautiful face.
well, that's kind of how. What's the word I want to say? That was not very sort of
We are
thoughtful of
seeing
me,
the
was it?
screen from your glasses, sir.
Yeah.
Well, you just have to look closer at the glasses, right? My apologies. All right, so just gonna say it's been a long day already, right? At this point, it's time for another glass of Red Bull, or another drink of Red Bull.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
sir.
so yeah, am I advertising for that? Yeah. So yeah, if I get enough viewers on this YouTube channel, then Red Bull will sponsor me, right? No, I don't think I. All right, so
Sir,
what you have
can I be your partner for the Red Bull advertisement?
if Red Bull would just give me free Red Bulls once every 3 times a day, that'd be enough sponsorship for me. Maybe for you as well. My gosh. All right, so what you have
Actually,
to do?
sir, in Qatar there is a car, sir, which give free Red Bull. Like usually in Subwakif they give Red Bull free.
You know what? I've got free Red Bull from one of these cars. It used to be like one of those minis, right?
Mini
And
Cooper, yes, sir, Mini Cooper. So, sir, you got it.
yeah,
High five,
yeah.
sir.
Now, fair dinkum, right? One day I was riding in the desert, riding my
Okay,
motorcycle, and I came back to Sea Line. That's where I parked my truck, and I'd get back onto my motorcycle. And there's this
okay.
car, this, and
Mini
so
Cooper.
yeah. And once I went in a race, and I actually won the race for my category. And what they gave me as a prize, they gave me motorcycle pants and a jersey, and the jersey was a Red Bull jersey. And I was wearing this
Oh,
Red Bull
wow.
jersey. I still have it. Of course, it's in my and there's this car. It's the Mini Cooper, the Red Bull, and
With
and
the
it's
Red
these
Bull.
And they
The
gave me
big
a
Red Bull, sir, right?
yeah, and they gave me a free Red Bull. So I got a picture of me drinking a free Red Bull with my Red Bull shirt with the Red Bull car and the Red Bull girls.
Sir,
That's
you
kind of
should have
cool.
asked them for sponsoring you. Seriously, then I would have become your partner.
Now, there's a lot more to that story if you're interested. I don't know. Because one of the Red Bull girls was one of my students. How about that? So she used to be my student, and that's when I was teaching chemistry. And she did here a diploma um, in engineering, and her mother is a teacher here in IT. And this girl, when she finished her diploma in engineering, then she went and did a degree in engineering and a master's degree, and now she works in Germany for Siemens. So there you go, guys. That's a good story, I think, for you about
Sir,
our
great accomplishment.
yeah,
Seriously.
and same for you
Drink and
guys.
fly.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go, right? Red Bigs gives you Red Bull gives you wings.
Yes, sir.
So that you could go to
Very
Germany and
good.
work for Siemens. All right, so where were we? You do need
Sir,
to make
but
your own.
you are giving us assignment, sir.
It's not wings. It's like I'm giving you rocks, right? Not wings. Um, Now, what you need to do is you do need to get your own images. That way, I like that idea. Get your own images. Now, it is about Rio de Janeiro, right? So you're supposed to make this thing and put the image in there, which is Rio de Janeiro. Just get your own image. That way, you're gonna have a more individualized
Sir, any image?
any image. But bearing in
Okay.
mind that if it was from Rio de Janeiro, it'd be better because the thing is about Rio de Janeiro. If you want to change the number from 2020 to 2021, that's fine. All right. So if you look at this assignment, I hope that you see some similarities to other assignments that you've done. Like, for example, Lab 8. So in Lab 8, you had a heading part at the top, and it was more difficult than this because you had the heading part that had two images. Well, one floated left and one floated right. Well, you don't have to do that here. All you have to do is have a heading part. And so a lot of this code, you're going to be able to see how it was done in your last assignment. And then do you see here, you got your three columns, and two of the columns are exact same width, and one column's a bit wider. And then you got a table in it. In the table, you got some row spans going on there. In this column here, you got some unordered list, and there's an ordered list and that. It's not really hard. All of this stuff you can do. So bear in mind the same way the code that you used in the previous lab, in the exact previous lab, in lab 8, because in lab 8 we did something that had a couple of well, it only had two columns, didn't it? So maybe you have to look at lab 6 also, because in lab 6 we had the product list file page. In the product list page, we had those pictures of the mobile phones, and we slotted them in beside each other using the float left. So that's how I would do this if I were you. Make the divs the same as you did in lab 6, I think it is, and float them left so that they float into each other. And then put your tables in there and your images, and you guys should have no trouble with this. It's only a one-page document. Everything that's in there you can see from lab 8 and lab 6. And so that's my recommendation, is that you go and look again at that. And I gave you the code for that basically if you watch the video, right? So
So, sir,
yeah,
we have to make something similar to this, right?
yes,
Assignment is something. Okay.
just like this, except use a different image and change the number to the thing to 2021. Do that, and you'll find that assignment. I hope that makes you feel a little bit empowered. By that I mean that I hope that you look at that and say, "Oh, yeah, I've already done all that." Because in fact, yeah, you have already done all that. So there's nothing that you have to sort of do a bunch of Googling on W3 schools or something like that to figure out how to do it, because we've basically done it. It's just sort of applying what you've already done. Truck, you didn't see me. Yeah, it's easy. You're in a Rayan truck? Oh, I
Yes,
wish.
sir. He advertised, I think, Al Rayyan water.
Oh, yeah. El Rayan water. Yeah, okay. I'm always buying Al Rayyan water because they sell it at, every time I go in the desert, I stop at the Wakud station. They sell 12 bottles of Rayyan water for 5 reals. So I always buy some of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, Kalas, it's okay. We have Al Rayyan t-shirt.
Sir, I think Muhammad Osama, he's sponsoring. He is the sponsor of Al Rayyan water, I feel.
Okay, so next lesson I'll drink some Rayyan water. Okay, and then when I put on YouTube, we'll get monetized, right?
Yeah, just sir tag Muhammad Osama. Just don't forget to tag him, sir.
Oh, okay. Any questions on this? Now, I'm actually pause. The instruction is pause, so I'm gonna